Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well, hope you're having a magical day, and it's the next day even more magical because today we're checking out how I've made and created the artwork of Daria Stavrovich. Okay, so let's begin. To begin with, I actually thought I wanted to make it really interesting, and I didn't know how. I was beginning to create it, and slowly I was kind of losing it because I had no clue how to do her hair. Because her hair is that kind of, in Greek it's called rasta. It's rasta, her hair. That's the style that it's called. At least that's how I know it in Greek. I've got no clue how to describe it in English. But it's really difficult for me to recreate and drawing, and in only 2 weeks while having so many things to do, it's just not possible. So I focused more on the face and thought I could maybe cheat it a bit with some materials and things, which I actually did in the continuing on the video, and it went pretty well. So let's let the video move along, and I'll tell you guys how I found the first time discovering Daria. First video. So first video was her first auditions for The Voice of Russia, and to be honest, I was super shocked by her talent, her skill with both her mainly the high notes in the first video ever seen her on, because her high notes were crazy, super high, super deep, with rust, which I loved. It's one of the parts that I absolutely adore from her voice, because it sounds so effortless, and she brings it so easily to her voice every time. So it's just super interesting to always hear it all of a sudden. And yeah, after the rust and the high vocals, obviously I was shocked by the talent, basically, of how long she could hear and hold her vocals. It was crazy. And then second performance, where she also performed a bit of a more calm song that had a bit less high notes, we got to hear a bit more of her voice, and her chest voice, mainly her main voice, let's say. And I got to experience a bit more of her deepness in just the singing and not a high note state. I really enjoyed it. She has a beautiful voice, very clean, which always deceives you, the fact that she can put on rust and apply rust with such ease, because of the experience she's had and all the training she's done. It's super cool to see her voice just clean and clear and so good in just the chest parts, in just the chest vocals, the main parts, where there are no high notes. It was super interesting. Next time I was really shocked was in the lives, where I got to experience her and her band just rocking out. First of all, they were killing it. The other main vocalist was super cool. I love his rapping, super interesting. But she just killed it. I love it. She was either supporting the parts where the male vocal was singing, and she did it flawlessly. You could hear her, she was just pleasant. She could combine her vocals with his that still stand out beautifully. Her vocals in her parts, flawless, beautiful, rust applied when needed. What I like about her is that she doesn't apply rust when it's not really needed and wanted. She only does it when required, and she does it perfectly. And the next thing I was really shocked about during the lives was how unique and crazy complex the band is. Their whole band, called The Slot. It was super cool how unique, complex, modern, and just their ideas for rhythm and tempo were, because every song I've listened to them sing until now and perform had a completely different song and idea to them. So for example, I did 3 songs of them until now, all of them completely different from each other. Like, their beginning completely different, their main parts completely different, their endings beautiful, completely different. It's super shocking to have this, and I just enjoyed everything because it was such a shock. And I would love to do some like extra, added to my extra videos where I check out these artists a bit further while checking out the new artists I do, because it's super cool. And I just can't wait to listen to them a bit more, because what they create is super unique. It's not completely heavy metal at times, it's not completely rock at times, not completely pop at times. Very rarely pop, but I can hear it as well. So it's super cool. I can hear some punk as well. Punk rap was what another commenter described it as. I can hear that as well. It's just super cool. All these combinations that they do, they just create and blend genres together to create their own style and everything. So it's just super cool to just see it happening. It was very pleasant. So, let's move on to her performances. Oh, her interview. I got to listen and learn a few things about her. I enjoyed that really so much. I can see she knows really good English as well. I'm really questioning like why she hasn't done any more interviews in English, because she is good. Also, her singing in English, still super good. She sang Chandelier of Sia, and it went really well. Like, it was beautiful. Also, super unique take on the song, which I loved. She killed it and performed beautifully. That was from the voice performances she's done. It was one of those. I just loved it and enjoyed it so much. So I could seriously see her in English performances as well. But honestly, there's a beauty in the fact that she's singing her native language, and her native language has those rusty or kind of sharp turns and things. Because for English it's not as much, for Greek not as much. In Cyprus we have a dialect. Cypriots have a dialect, which is the Cypriot dialect, and the Cypriot dialect is very harsh. So yes, Cypriots I do understand what like the Russian harshness has in it. That is present in also Cyprus. Cyprus has a harsh dialect. It's not written, it's only dialect, but yes. Germans also have a harsh kind of like pronunciation of stuff, very sharp. So yes, I just love it for her. It's just super cool to have it being sang in her native, because it has this harshness, it really fits. But yes, I also was really shocked by the song she sang in that animated performance we watched of hers. I enjoyed it so much. First of all, beautiful animation and everything, but I was super shocked because the song was a bit more pop-ish, and it was so interesting and extraordinary to just watch and listen to her voice. It's as if she wasn't singing, because there was a new clearness and steadiness to her voice, such control that she has. It's insane. But the fact that I could not just so easily place the fact that it was her performing, it was shocking because I thought I would actually realize it, and I was actually questioning how common she's performing in an animated movie, and then I'm like, wow, like this sounds so cool and so amazing. Like, her control is impressive beyond belief, and I just can't believe it. Okay, so I want to also describe a bit about the piece more. So let's move on to, materials first of all. So the materials were oils, mixed media, what else? I guess mixed media kind of covers all materials. I also went over there and added a completely new background. So I grabbed a piece of paper and started adding pieces and parts of fabrics and things, added color, and everything, and then I ripped pieces of her artwork I was working on. I was scared doing that, but I needed a change. Like, the hair wasn't gonna work for me, so I wanted to present something really cool, and I think I did it in the end. So I ripped everything around her hair and maybe inside as well and parts. Yes, I did. And I sticked it then and adjusted, let's say, the hair parts. And then continued blending it together, sometimes making it stand out more because it looked cool. And I think it really, really worked. It made the piece stand out more. It gave me some alternative ways to connect it. And it also gave me the idea to emphasize even more the purple shadow she was wearing and just add it as, let's say, shades of darker skin color. I enjoyed that part so much because it was so cool to look at the final result. It looked insane. I loved it. And I have to say the ending of the face was just beautiful. Flawless. I love the skin. It looks beautiful. The eyes really nice. Just maybe a bit more work on the mouth, but not that much. I really liked the hands. Had a lot of correcting to be done. I was missing parts. Parts were supposed to be the sleeves and they were skin. So at the end I corrected that and it looks really nice now. Maybe the only thing that really needs work is a bit more shading on the hands, but I'm super happy with how it ended up looking. Like, it's beautiful, flawless. I also love the hair. I added some charcoal there. The beads she has on her hair, just a bit more faint because the hair is also super chaotic until now. There's so much chaos going on. So I decided not to emphasize it as much because if I did, it would just lose itself in the chaos. It wouldn't just pop out as much as I would like it to. So I just left it a bit more simpler, the beads. But I really, really liked it. So let's start naming a few things. I loved how in the end I also added like drops and watercolor drips of the hair. It kind of blended the face and the hair together, so it doesn't look as much as if, let's say, she's wearing a wig or something, because it was super hard for me to do it, but I feel like I achieved it. Like, it looks cohesive. I also enjoyed how the rips are because they look super cool. They give a pop of color in her black and white hair. It's super, super interesting. I also like how we have just some random oranges and stuff just from the bottom of her sleeves, and they're not as evident. They're a bit more muted because I chose to do it that way. I didn't want it to be so separated. And yeah, I just really, really enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Albert over here presenting you, and I'll see you guys next time in my next video. Bye bye.